we live? Are we live? Are we live? Yes, we are. We are live. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the bonus. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, we are good to go then. Now, to start off with the extras, we are gonna be starting off with the, I guess we'll start with, just to start off, we'll do the guitar mode first. I'm not too sure what the guitar mode has to offer, or if it's just literally you just getting to play the guitar and that's it. Oh. Oh, really? That's cool. Oh. And I got different... Oh, and it makes different noises. There's a whole a filter? What the hell? And I can play as different people? Gavasso? Is that one of the... I think that's one of the people who worked on the music and stuff here. I could be wrong. Holy shit, we got an old Joel skin from the first game. Oh, damn. Depth of the filter, no, I can go without that, but let's see what else we got here. What kind of guitars do we have? Okay, let's hide that, and... Okay, that's nice. Yeah. I don't know how to do music. I don't know how to do music. Okay, what else do we got here? What is this guitar? Damn, this looks fancy. Damn. I'm like saying this must be really fun for people who want to do guitar. I guess this is one way to learn how to do guitar. I'm pretty sure there has to be somebody out here who probably has made an entire video over this. So yeah, damn. I bet there's somebody has to made an entire like music track just using The Last of Us Master 2. There has to be. I don't even know the first thing about. I don't even know the first thing about doing a guitar, so yeah. Oh, I actually like this one. I like the style, and I like the way this sounds. Nice. Okay, that's cool. And I think that's all that is actually can be given here. You even have a fall, a winter? What the hell is this? What is this? The depth and the speed. What does this do? What if I do... Holy shit. Okay. And what happens when I just turn it to 0? Everything's at 0. That's cool. No, I don't. What is there anything else I can do? Let's look at the different backgrounds. Just give it a second. Okay, so that's what all the different backgrounds look like. And I'm assuming these are all areas in the game where you do the guitar at, which is the 4 areas. Which isn't much, but it's something. We got an old Joel here. Bye-bye, Joel. Anywho, now going into the next thing, we have modify skins here for both Ellie and Abby, of all people. So if I wanted to do this here, modify main character's clothing and weapon appearance. Character skins do not apply during flashbacks that take place before the main event of the game. Earn points and to do that to get the skins. I don't think we're going to be able to get all of them because, yeah, we need to do some of the return things. But besides that, I think we can get everything else, actually. So, yeah, besides that, I guess I can just get everything else. We have Seattle. We got Patrol. We got Aquarium at Abby. We got Santa Bar Ellie. We got the original Boston Ellie. We got B-Day Ellie. This one I don't know what is because we need to do return mode, so we'll come back to that later. We can actually play as an astronaut. That's cool. And then we got the one with no helmet. We got all returns, so that's going to be interesting. We got the Pride tank top. That's nice. Asar R. Lad. The Death Stranding one. That's cool. We got a Destiny one. We got Fanvasion. We got Killzone. We got Mortal Kombat. Got Serene. We got Hatima. We got Wipeout. Wipeout, that's interesting. And we got a PlayStation one. And then all of this looks like no return. And we're just going to keep just filtering these out and just grabbing all of these different ones. We got Astronaut, Locked, and Giraffe. I'll put the Giraffe one on. Astronaut. These are also in no return. And we got a Giraffe one. Let's go with an Astronaut, and we'll go Astronaut for the rest of these. Now, let's back out here into Abby now. And from the looks of it, we got a lot of Abby's and no return skins as well. So, let's buy up these ones first. The 8 and the Zebra. Okay, that's super fitting. Holy hell, that's a cool looking ass shotgun. I'm taking this shotgun. Well, I think this is from the 80s. And actually, no, I think the Zebra one's better. We got Seattle. We got Jackson Abbey. We got Coast Abbey. We got Santa Barbara Abbey. Salt Lake City Abbey. We got Aquarium Abbey. It's Abbey that just looks pissed off always. We got the 80s Abbeys. Damn, that's a look. We got the WL Reversible Abbey. Genia. I'm surprised there isn't a Scar one. Oh, Jack and Drake. Cephon Filter. There's so many references. The Getaway. The Mark of KRI. I'm not going to have enough for all of this, am I? Oh, no. I'm not going to be able to have enough for this. Oh, I thought I was going to have more than enough for this. Oh, shit. We might run into a problem. Oh, here's all the filters, by the way. We have graphic. Holy hell, I'm grabbing that one. That looks cool. Headache. Oh, God. Afterlife. 8-bit. I'm grabbing that one. Watercolor. Dungeon. Void. Pop Poster. 1960. Dinner Punk. Cool. Warm. Vibrant. Nor, Blorgan, Sip By, Vision, Beast, Terminated, Gridlock, Black Knight, Desert Fog, Blood, Inferno, Fire, Trinity, Pusher, Demus, Drug Zone, and Moonlight. I'll take that one. But damn, there are a lot of filters. I guess that's kind of fun. Earn points in your opponent, collecting and earning trophies, progress in your turn, and cool. Oh god, you have mirror mode. I actually might do that. I gotta play this again. We got bullet speed mode. Game reduced 20% while aiming. Infinite ammo. I'm grabbing that. Infinite crafting. I'm grabbing that. Infinite listening. Yes. Yes. One shot. Nah. Touch of death. Nah. We can grab that. 8-bit. 4-bit. Helium. And Exoneron. These is fun. This is fun. Cheats. Slow-mo. Bullet speed. Infinite ammo. Yeah. This looks kind of fun. The audio sounds like the best part of this all. And now speedrun cap. View records of your speedrun and your best time. Well, we haven't really done anything with speedruns yet, so I don't have much to offer there. We'll go through the game again. And I don't have enough PP for all this. And these are basically all the models that you can see through the game. It's kind of hard to see, which kind of really sucks because all of it. But yeah, this is basically all the models that you would see within the game. Tommy and everything. Alice. Oh god, they gave one for the dog as well. JJ. Oh yeah, I forgot JJ was in this. It was the last game. You got Semper. Gusso. Severin Brutal Maid. Got all these different things here. Wait, there's a female version of the clickers? I didn't even know that there was... I didn't even know that. Rattler, Clickler, Shambler. I gotta buy this. Holy hell. This mofo. This was terrifying. And then afterwards it got stupid. But, ew. Oh god, ugh. Ew, look at that detail. Man. That is scary as all hell. Damn, that is scary as all hell. Oh, that was the bloater half? Oh, I don't have anything else. Oh well, bloater, you're getting not noticed. And then here's the Rat King himself. Damn, what a crazy concept of an enemy. I wish they did more with him. I wish they really did. Abby should have been only able to kill him in the first half and had him just basically run through the area. Now, let's look at the making of the things. We'll focus on the lost levels next in the next bonus here. And then we got concept art. Oh, you gotta be joking me. I can't even show off the concept art. I don't have enough FPP. Bro. Okay. I guess, fuck that, I guess we're just gonna skip that for the time being, and we'll come back to that later. We'll have to come back to that later. And behind the scenes videos. Grounder 2 making of The Last of Us, Grounder 2 making The Last of Us trailer, and reveal trailer. Sure. I wonder if I can even show these. Well, let's see if the stream gets cut off. Hopefully this stream doesn't get cut off. Again, I stream this stuff on my PS5 only, so unfortunately some of this stuff can get cut off. But from the looks of it, hopefully not jinxing it here, that isn't the case.
Okay. Thank you all for what is about to be a very long presentation. So Anthony and I ran some numbers, and to our best guess, The Last of Us Part 2 is 10 to 30% longer than Last of Us Part 1. However, this is the most detailed story presentation we've ever done. Like, if you think about the presentation for T1, where we kind of talk about the quarantine zone in somewhat detail, even though most of it changed, and then it's like, and here are some things that might happen with Joel and Ellie. They might go into a spore-filled subway tunnel. They might fight some cannibals. At some point, Joel will get incapacitated. And this has everything figured out, even though it might change. Every character is accounted for. Every cinematic is accounted for in this presentation, which means it's going to feel twice as long as the first game. So when you freak out, that's normal. That's part of this.
Grounded 2. So the making of The Last of Us Part 2. Let's see.
So this is about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So hopefully you got your pee break. Okay. So we open on 15-year-old Ellie.
I hope that means for them and not us. Oh yeah, for anybody who hasn't seen Last of Us, the first Last of Us, or hasn't seen Last of Us Part 2, click off and go buy the games.
Climbing out of this basement, and he's hurt bad, and he's rambling about something, needing to go after these people. Ellie's trying to ask him what happened, where's Joel, and he doesn't make any sense to her, and she starts to go downstairs. Tommy grabs her hand and tries to stop her, but he's too weak. She rips her arm away, and she heads down. And with each step, her heart races faster and faster as she sees this trail of blood. She opens the door, revealing Joel's mutilated body. And then shock just sets in, and she screams and tries to grab his body, and Dina comes and rips her away, and on that cacophony of sounds, silence. Oh, we're just getting started.
Yeah. That is crazy. I wish that's how it went, but no, it went in a completely different direction. It doesn't need a sequel. Yeah. Yeah. That is an interesting question. Why did they make a sequel to this game? I don't know. I feel like the first game was pretty good already, but yeah. Again, if this game never got a sequel, and this never happened...
I've been working on this game since we finished... Well, really, we've been thinking about it since we finished The Last of Us.
Really?
So many people were like, Last of Us 1 is so perfect. It should never have a sequel. They should make a sequel.
They shouldn't have.
It wrapped up super great.
Personally, like I said, they shouldn't have, but unfortunately...
Swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true.
Ellie is accepting a lie.
I swear.
Okay. She has a very good bullshit detector. She knows something doesn't feel right, but I think is too scared at that point to ask.
How long can you really live with accepting a lie like that?
The Last of Us feels like an origin story for this survivor in this post-apocalyptic world. Seeing like how Ellie has become such a strong, unique character, it really felt like, you know, if we were to do a sequel, it'd be a shame for it not to focus on her.
Move the fuck out of the way.
And break her character entirely, making her character not the same character in the first game. I'm curious to see where they went with this.
He's gonna teach Ellie to play guitar. That always felt like that's just this like unanswered promise that like was kind of lingering at the end of the first game. We did this thing called One Night Live, where we had the actors come on stage and reenact certain scenes.
So you say we get you to the Fireflies. What happens next?
Marlene, she said that they have their own little quarantine zone, and that doctors are still trying to find a cure.
I wrote this new scene that takes place after the ending of The Last of Us, but it was only shown to people in the audience. Like, we cut off the stream right before we showed them the scene.
If I ever were to lose you, I'd surely lose myself. Try and sometimes you'll succeed. To make this man
so that's where this scene comes from.
our future days of you and me. She's yours.
No, I don't know the first thing about this.
Hey, I promised you I'd teach you how to play.
That scene ends with Ellie holding the guitar and playing one note. And that image was so strong in my mind that I'm sure that kind of trickled into this idea of this trailer. So I started working on some concept art, kept fleshing out the story. And as it felt like it was kind of gaining momentum, Uncharted 4 needed all hands on deck.
Yep. Yeah.
Naughty Dog had always made one game, and as soon as it finishes one game, it works on another. When I started on Uncharted 3, we were starting to experiment then with trying to do 2 teams. After we finished Uncharted 3, I jumped onto Uncharted 4. At some point in time, Uncharted 4 was coming down to the wire, and it's just, we had to shift resources, and pretty much everyone just ended up on Uncharted, trying to finish it up.
So I said, okay, before I come on like in full force.
Sorry about that.
4, I just want to capture this trailer.
Oh my god. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'll be back. I'm gonna keep letting this go.
Beside the still waters, and they restore my soul, but I can't walk on the path of life.
God damn idiots fucking playing Call of Duty, saying the N-word like 10,000 times
During the
when
entire production
neither
of
of them
Uncharted
idiots
4,
are black at all.
that's all I could think about. I had a lot of investment in Uncharted 4, but the day we were done with Uncharted 4, went right back to that trailer.
Hopefully that wasn't heard in the stream.
Anything for this shot that's still happening?
What did I miss here?
Not animation.
So they were going into Uncharted 4 for The Last of Us Part 2. Granted, Uncharted 4, considering how big that game was and how good that game was, no wonder why they need everybody on deck.
A lot of attention. We tone that down.
Yep.
Actually, my biggest fear with this announcement is that it leaks early. More than anything, I have nightmares about this trailer leaking early before we get to PSX.
That is, yeah, funny enough, it happened. Leaks. That has to be the worst thing ever, being a game designer, and especially with such a big company. Getting their game leak is so dumb.
Up yet as a place where big titles get revealed. That's E3.
Oh, that was Uncharted Legacy.
Revealing the Uncharted single-player content.
Yeah, Lost Legacy.
You're late. I thought you were professional. Oh, you should relax.
Yeah. I forgot Uncharted had a 5th game.
Second Naughty Dog title to be revealed in the same press conference.
Please welcome to the stage, Sean Layden.
There's one more special unveil we have for you tonight. Please enjoy it.
When we first revealed The Last of Us, the Naughty Dog logo came up and the crowd erupted, and it was such a high that that's almost been like chasing the dragon, like wanting to recapture that feeling.
Oh my God. Why does this look like the Last of Us
Yep.
Playing it at this surprising moment
I'm hopeful it will have a similar feel.
Yeah, that must have been crazy. The fact that they only reveal one game, so to have a second one at the time, man, that must have been crazy as all hell.
What are you doing, kiddo?
People outside the studio have such an attachment to the first game, and I've definitely seen fears about not wanting to make a sequel because somehow if it's bad, it will tarnish your feeling about the first game.
I don't know. So was this? I was told this first trailer was basically a fake out entirely.
Every last one of them.
We're doubling down on those fears and not calling it The Last of Us some subtitle. It's The Last of Us Part 2 to say it's all one story.
Yeah. Damn. Story worth telling.
The concept for the sequel had to feel compelling enough, have enough weight that felt like, okay, this is an experience worth creating, worth spending the next 3 years on. I became really intrigued with the idea of the cycle of violence and how, like, certain events would trigger acts of violence that then would beget more acts of violence.
It's almost never satisfying. It never brings the person you love back. And despite you thinking it's going to bring some closure, it doesn't.
We just need more empathy. Wouldn't it be awesome if we could create an experience that lets you safely explore those feelings? With that theme, all of a sudden everything fell into place and this outline emerged. The whole catalyst for what starts the second game is Joel killing the doctor.
Yeah, but the only problem is the
doctor
was basically
sequence of events.
Was a different color skin, which I don't even know how they screwed that up.
And we really have to.
That was like the most pointed thing out. I don't even know how Neil missed that.
And you're Ellie, and you're going to pursue justice, quote unquote, and you're going to go kill this entire crew. We're going to go back in time and show you that same sequence of events. This character that you saw as a monster, to now get you to see things from her perspective. And how this crew is a bunch of people trying to survive in this world. And they had their reasons for pursuing and finding Joel and killing him. And the story was becoming very epic and ambitious. And I had a few parts that I was kind of stuck on. And I felt like to kind of shake things up, I wanted to bring in another writer.
I thought it was a very thoughtful story about violence and obsession. He had Abby, sort of like this girl who was the daughter of the doctor. And that Ellie would go on this vengeance quest. And when he was like, and then Ellie actually kills Abby, I was like, what? You're gonna... Yeah, let's fucking do it.
Not only is she contributing in
I was gonna say you should have gave us the choice. Again, the fact that they didn't give us the choice would have really made the difference to this ending.
She's wanted to add more romantic intimacy between the characters. Those are areas that I've been, I don't know, more uncomfortable writing that stuff.
Well, that explains a thing or two.
After the first day, she was telling me that she went home and told her husband that I think I just got Ellie's girlfriend pregnant. Because that was her big idea the first day, and that had this chiffon effect and actually added a lot to the story.
Huh.
Ellie is this very relatable character. I thought she was a perfect vehicle to challenge this notion that violence doesn't have a cost,
Yeah,
because it does
in the
have a
first
cost
game.
reality.
This version, I don't even
It's going to ruin this
fucking know who she even was in the second game.
You know, people love Joel and Ellie, and we are about to kill one and make the other one a villain.
Yep.
I was very nervous telling Troy we're going to kill off Joel. In the first game, he was advocating that Joel should die.
When I
Really?
read the ending to part 1, I was like, you're going to piss a lot of people off.
Let me go. Marlene is the closest thing to a parent that Ellie has had outside of Joel.
You just come after her.
A lot of people got hurt, and Marlene would be one of those people.
Joel has crossed these moral lines, and therefore he deserves to die, and he thought it might be a more dramatic ending. And I was like, no, you're crazy. But then in the second game, that's why I was thought oh, he would take it pretty easily.
He goes, so Joel dies.
I was like, ah.
And he's like, so this happens, and then and I literally had to stop. I was like, can you give me just a second?
Give me a second.
Because it literally was as if someone was telling me about how my friend had just died.
I think he kind of took it hard. It was like the character meant so much.
Yeah,
to
he
him.
flipped the table. He broke a couple of chairs. He cried in the shower for a couple of hours.
Be much smaller on
He took
this
it
one.
a little bit hard.
All of a sudden, it was, please don't take this from me yet.
Ellie is scared to be alone. Everybody that she's loved up
Knowing
until
Joel
that
was
point,
gonna die in the
she's
second
lost
game was inevitable.
It's hard to imagine
But
the
the
story
way
without
they
Ty.
killed
You
him,
feel that hate,
God,
Ellie
the
feels that
man, the
You're one-to-one,
disrespect they
you're on the
did
stick,
to him.
and that informs the rest of the story.
A golf club of all things. And we'll get into that analyst a lot later. I have a lot to say. But man.
You okay?
Yeah.
We get you through interactivity to really connect and empathize with this character.
Don't look like you heard of us or something.
And then make you feel like I've led Joel to a trap.
Don't fear change.
When we started out making Last of Us Part 2, Neil actually wanted to be very ambitious about changing the game almost entirely. In the first 4 or 5 months, the game was actually kind of an open world, inspired by Bloodborne.
That explains the open world kind of feel. I think they could have did it.
And,
Seattle
it
was one of those
purely melee focus, it was all hand-to-hand combat.
Really?
It wasn't just the melee combat, we were also looking at sort of layout structure. Bloodborne had a very sort of an open space that sort of kept getting bigger and bigger as you explored. I really like that.
Well, I feel like it could have worked out. I'm like, Seattle's a big place. I could see an open world part.
Kind of almost a character in the game itself.
I wonder why they.
And so that was also something
why
we
they
were looking at.
drove from it.
We started out making it as different as humanly possible from the first game as we could, and then kind of dialing it back. The open world thing didn't work with the story that we were trying to tell and stuff.
So in pre-production,
I wonder
we spent a
how.
lot of time just doing setups. Self-contained sort of units that tried to expound on a single sort of idea. Trying to start out with sort of simple shapes and building up to more complex shapes. And starting out with 1 or 2 mechanics and building up to those mechanics.
That was an
Even our
interesting.
experiments, we try to add as much context as we can. We establish a
Interesting.
goal that you're going to be going for. We establish beats so that there's an emotional journey. The stakes are raised. Figuring out some traversal stuff, a lot of climbing and balance beams, and seeing how far we can sort of push in that direction without it getting over the top like Uncharted.
More sort of verticality.
What time are we at?
more use
Okay.
of
We still
grass
got
and
another
stealth.
30 minutes.
My name is Arnaldo Licea.
And what do you do here?
I do design.
I know. How long have you been doing that?
A day.
A
I
day.
got an opportunity to work in QA, and that was a great learning experience. I shipped The Last of Us and Uncharted 4.
The thing I'm proudest of
Ah.
is the people who came in to a quality assurance job as a contractor, which is entry-level work, and used that job to get to where they ultimately wanted to be.
When I interviewed for the QA position, I specifically said that my goal was to be a designer.
He had formed this relationship with design where they knew they could rely on him, spending his free time designing a demo, and at the same time, him going to them and not being like, here's 50 bugs you need to fix. He went to them and was like, what do you need? How do I help you? What kind of bugs do you need? And for their part, they embraced him and were like, why don't we show you how to lay out nav mesh?
I am anxious to prove myself. There is no babying when you start. You just hit the ground running. If I don't cut it, I go back to QA or find something else. We're trying to figure out at the moment how we handle big spaces, bigger than the first game.
The enemies are so too spread out to be really considered like one single small encounter.
Really?
Seeing what
Horse
behaviors you
riding
need to
was
start
supposed to
developing
be...
for them to make it look good.
Really, horse riding was supposed to be a... Well, it kind of was. Interesting.
The opening of Seattle, that whole section was pretty slow and quite linear in the level design. Let's assume that there's guys in this building, someone's starting to shoot at me from the second floor.
Yeah.
So, okay, if I'm on the horse and I'm getting shot at, I can't take cover with the horse, so probably first thing I'm going to do is jump off. And that's slow and clumsy, and maybe we can make that faster. It's like, but once I jump off, I'm going to want to take cover behind something. It's like, okay, I'm taking cover. Now what the fuck do I do with this horse? I assume the enemies are going to shoot at it. If they don't, that's kind of weird. Does Dina ride off with the horse to help it stay safe? Well, that sucks because I'm trying to build a relationship with Dina, and if my partner leaves me, that makes me like her less. I'm like, okay, so Dina has to get off the horse and take cover with me and help me engage with the enemies. Okay, but the horse is still there, so what happens with this horse? Does it ride off on its own in order to protect itself and then come back after? Oh, that feels too intelligent for a horse. That seems a little funny. As soon as there's range combat, the horse kind of makes it fall apart. What if we did this whole sequence on foot? How do I approach this building? Imagine this is more dense with cars and ferns and interesting ways for me to close this distance. Maybe when I get close enough, 2 militia guys come out. I have this little firefight with this front before I could rush forward and go into this building, climb up, and take out the sharpshooter that was harassing me. Really simple, small fight. Now there's tension. Guys can come from anywhere, like from this rooftop, from these windows.
And that really inspired us to take some pretty drastic changes as far as the flow, inserting more combat,
making it
opening up the
more
layout to
realistic.
give the player more options as far as how they explore
Which I
the
can
city.
understand.
You can imagine this as being kind of the hub with it poking into streets, and I could go into the streets and explore and find those locations, what we're kind of calling dungeons. So that's the plan. Some of these changes are big, but it got us excited. This feels like a true evolution of T1 as far as going more systemic and giving you options.
If there's concern, it's about scale, it's about scope, it's about can we actually build this thing?
The scope is always bigger than the last game. It always has been. It always will be, probably. But this scope on this game is something pretty extraordinary.
Everyone seems to agree that the thing we're building is going to be cool. Once it's done, it's just that it's such a big game.
Okay.
Our games have become more and more ambitious, and the studio has gotten a lot bigger.
When I started here, we were 40 people. Now we're over 300. You can't handle that many people with a flat hierarchy. As we grew, we've had to introduce new titles just to control management, control communication, make sure things don't fall through the cracks.
We have no producers at Naughty Dog.
There's so many talented people here that you can rely on and lean on. It makes the game better. And that's really kind of the secret sauce of Naughty Dog, is how collaborative it is.
You find the right people who really want to do the best they can possibly do, and then you kind of give them the resources to try. You're getting what you asked for as a creative person, right? You're kind of getting the freedom to go as far as you can go, but sometimes I think we need to be saved from ourselves a little bit.
With The Last of Us 2, there's a real sense of opportunity. This is going to be a much cleaner production than we've done in the past. We're going to get it right this time.
This is the first project that has had the proper pre-production period, where we have locked down, for the most part, the story beginning, middle, and end before we started production. That hasn't happened.
Really?
I don't know if that has ever happened.
Oh, God.
It's a very, very messy process, which is, again, why it's a lot of times really difficult to schedule. I think right now we are planning on springtime of 2018. So when springtime 2018 comes around, The Last of Us 2 isn't in stores, you can look back at this and say, well, I guess their plan wasn't exactly set in stone.
Historically, we've done very poorly at being efficient without the pressure of an external deadline.
Every time we have some showing of our games, if it's going to be seen publicly, it's got to be one of the best looking playing things in the industry. For example, the first trailer was coming online, and that forced us to define the look of our game, define the location of where the game takes place, define Ellie's look and her age and her hair and her outfit. We're forced to make those choices. We can't just keep iterating because there's a deadline.
We want to try and schedule the game using these milestones as soon as possible.
Which means we got to keep the marketing rolling, which means next E3, 6 months away, we need to look at a gameplay demo.
E3 has always been the biggest and most extravagant showing of the game industry. There's something special about the energy of
E3.
We need to figure out what the gameplay is,
Definition
because right now
was.
we've got a bunch of like cool prototypes and stuff like that, so it's scary, but we work well under pressure.
We were hoping to be really aggressive and show at E3 2017 just to really kick the project into gear as fast as humanly possible.
Really?
We want to break it up into a roughly 2-minute cinematic, a flashback sequence that will set kind of emotional context for what will then go into a 5-minute gameplay sequence. We want to do this festival within Jackson.
Then how did
there'll be like
Joel,
a live band, and we're just seeing people lively
get
having
into
fun.
Jesse's position?
Are you thinking
Wonder how
30
that
plus
went.
people?
Frank says we could do a 30 variation. I think we can make that work with 30.
Yeah.
Dina pulls Ellie onto the dance floor. Ellie's dancing with her, is making all these guys jealous, and then Dina says, "You want to make them really jealous?" And she leans over and kisses her, and on that, we do a hard cut to Ellie in the middle of the woods. So the idea is we shouldn't see any buildings, just woods, water, ankle-deep water rushing underneath her.
What about rain? Are we still doing rain?
I haven't discussed it with the other guys, but
That demo that we show externally for the very first time is setting the bar for the rest of development. But the problem is we're also working on Uncharted 4 Lost Legacy.
So E3 is June 13th, which means probably we want to be done, like 2 weeks before that, which is 4.5 months from now.
With Lost Legacy shipping at around the same time of E3, there are shared resources between the two projects.
Especially sound and particle effects, so they were all on Uncharted.
Yeah.
When it comes to polish phase, both we're polishing this and that thing and SPDLC.
It makes me wonder if doing two games at the same time screwed them over.
There's going to be programmer time doing both those things. And
there are going to be times when it's like this needs polishing in E3 and this needs polishing in SPDLC, and like we're going to have to compromise at times maybe.
We kind of just didn't have it at the forefront of our minds that, yeah, they're freaking shipping a video game. It's literally the hardest part of making the game is shipping it. And we were trying to ship a demo, the second hardest thing you can do, at the same time, and sharing a lot of their resources.
Huh.
So one thing would be helpful is to find out what are the items that you feel like you're most worried about. Like, let's say rain. We could do this thing without rain. So if that helps you a ton, we can make the decision not to remove rain.
It would definitely help.
How about wet hair? Well, if she's going swimming, then we can get around that. Right?
How about no swimming?
Puts on a cap.
I got like a really clear energy of the meeting, which was how do we shrink it? It was such an impossible task. You can't help but start feeling some doubt, some anxiety about the leadership, not understanding the logic of it. You know, I think like anybody else here, I was definitely ready to roll up my sleeves and figure it out.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to keep this pretty short. I guess. So after yesterday's meeting, there were a lot of side conversations, and there was sort of a sentiment about how much work there was to get not only this demo done to ship Lost Legacy, and it matched up with feelings that we were having. So we started discussing the responsibility of actually attempting this, and started to feel that it was a little bit irresponsible. That if we were to try to meet both these deadlines, we could probably do it, but we would end up doing a lesser job on both projects, both deadlines, than we would if we were doing them individually. And feels like they're both important enough to give them the due attention. So the conclusion that definitely is there is that the demo that was discussed yesterday will not be presented at E3. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Does it mean that our main point should be just focusing on more shipping before?
The Lost Legacy?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, we should still try to. We don't, like I said, just want to just completely halt work on this, and all hands on deck on Lost Legacy.
The idea is still to finish the demo, just to give us a buffer, so that these two deadlines aren't overlapping. It's just now we have more time to work on this demo properly without the pressure.
Once that meeting happened, it was just like, right, of course. I'm not in the Twilight Zone. It makes sense not to do this. It felt really nice seeing the leadership kind of having the team's back and seeing the logic of the situation in front of them.
That's it.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, so are you pissed off?
Am I pissed off? No. What am I? I guess in one sense it's relieved, because there was concern of whether we could hit the quality that we know we need to hit for both Lost Legacies and for what was going to be our E3 demo. And then on the other hand, it's kind of disappointed, because it's excited to get this demo done and get it out there and get the reaction, but now it's going to have to happen at some other point.
What we've decided to do is deliver the demo at around the same time, but that's going to be purely internal, and the demo won't be 100% shippable. Gameplay and design and animation are going to be locked in June. Then we back off, we finish Lost Legacy, and then resources free up to finish the particle effects, the lighting, and the sound. And then we ship just the glossiest, best-looking demo you've ever seen. We burn that to a disc at the beginning of January, and then we don't touch it again, and nobody sees it until E3. It's going to be really interesting to see if we can really, really commit to being done, 5 months, 6 months in advance of E3, and not be tempted to say it could be a little better, let's go back.
Interesting.
And we really just need to have the discipline not to do that.
But that then left us as okay, what's our next marketing beat? What are we going to show next from this game?
So now we have a new plan where we're going to release a cinematic around PSX time. I think we're going to do it at the Paris Game Show.
This seemed like a pretty intriguing scene to introduce Abby. That whole scene is going to be our next marketing beat, and then we're not going to say much about it, about how
Funny
this fits
enough,
in the game, where it fits in
when
the
Abby
game.
was introduced, people believed that was Ellie's mom.
Abby evolved over time, and if you look at the concept art, the character looked very different than where we've ended up.
Indeed.
I don't remember at what point we decided to go with someone like really kind of muscular and broad, but I remember once the idea came up, it felt very fresh.
Once we sort of nailed down the body of Abby, we played around with different ideas of how we wanted to accentuate her arms or not.
The gains.
And there's something interesting in Abby feeling
Like
a lot
she was
like Joel.
built like a tank in the apocalypse. But damn. That is...
So when I got cast, Neil was like joking around and he's like, you should probably beef up in order to play her. And I'm like, ha ha ha, yeah, it's mocap, whatever. And he goes, no, really, you should probably beef up to play her. And I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. I should totally start deadlifting as much as possible. So I did, and I was training like crazy, and then I got pregnant. What are you gonna do?
We need to separate her from Ellie. It shouldn't feel like I'm playing a reskinned Ellie, that Abby should, in many ways, look, behave, fight differently. So in gameplay, we've discussed, well, she needs to have different upgrade trees. It means we have to make the investment of capturing a whole different moveset for Abby. We can't just remap Ellie's animation onto Abby.
Holy fuck.
Abby has a fear of height. There's stuff we're doing with the camera to make you feel vertigo.
Damn. Yeah.
And that helps build empathy. It makes this character real.
We let you both live.
I felt zero empathy. I felt like zero empathy. So in that sense, you kind of failed. But hey, whatever.
You saved my life. Can you take a look at her?
Once she's killed Joel, what is Abby's motivation? What is she trying to achieve? Her redemption is really taking care of Yara and Lev, these two kids that are from a warring faction.
You know, she has been taught to hate them. There is an inherent xenophobic reaction to them. It's about saying, can you come to love your enemy?
Scars built all this?
Seraphites.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
These are kids that grew up in a very different context as Ellie, and, you know, how they live their lives and experience the world is totally different.
Yeah.
Oh, you're present.
I'm getting really attached to Lev. He's been able to keep his head up despite losing so much himself in a world that is so harsh.
I'm like saying Lev was a really good character.
Don't move any faster. I won't do your sister.
He was a goat character.
I really like his dynamic with Abby.
Granted, he even was my favorite
Having
part
this, like,
during when I played it during the
brassy
first
little
time around.
sidekick who calls her on her shit in a way that nobody else can.
What's going on between you and your friend Owen?
Oh my god, Lev, now?
It seemed really awkward.
Just go!
Who understands the sort of sense of being orphaned in the way that a lot of people can't.
How long have you two been on the run for?
2 days.
What the hell did you do?
I shaved my head.
They want to kill a little boy because he shaved his head.
Yep, they're pretty
I'm
crazy.
Not trans, so it's a very delicate thing to tell a story of an experience that I've not had. And that's something that we want to take seriously.
Did you hear what they called me?
Yeah.
Do you want to ask me about it?
Nope.
Do you want me to ask you about it?
No.
Okay.
It's really about trying to create a multifaceted character who is trans, and that is absolutely an important part of who he is, but also a part of who he is, not the whole of who he is.
As far as the Paris cutscene, I'm pretty stressed out. We have 13 days, less than 2 weeks to finish this thing, and there are still some big ticket items.
Seriously? Okay, man.
Lost Legacy turned out to be a much bigger project than we originally envisioned, but now that it's done, everyone is now on board.
We've got the green light demo done.
She's putting on quite the show.
Damn, this is going on a lot longer than I thought it was going to go on.
Full production now, so I guess that's
How much
short
time
of
do
it.
we
We're
have?
full production.
Yeah, like only 6 minutes left. Misdirection, Jesus Christ, how long is this?
Hey everybody, PlayStation's live at Paris Games Week 2017. We've got a huge
Oh yeah,
starting now.
the misdirection to throw people off.
Wow, what a great way to open Paris Games Week. Let's have the first in-depth look at a much anticipated and exclusive title.
Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2. Please, please, please be Last of Us 2.
Our fans, they want to know every last thing about what's going to be in this game.
Is this The Last of Us?
Neil has taken the way, you know, he kind of creates an arc or like this sense of drama, this kind of sense of mystery or like dramatic tension, and crazily has brought it to marketing.
I view marketing as part of the game. It's very calculated what we put out there and how we want you to connect different marketing assets. When we first released the teaser trailer, too many people right off the bat said Joel is dead.
The blood out light really fucked us in a way I don't think any of us saw coming.
We actually underestimated our audience a little bit. They're so sophisticated now, so you have to get more sophisticated, like how am I still going to surprise players and viewers?
You start on characters you've never seen before in a world that like could be The Last of Us, could be anything. That creates like a really, really cool sense of tension.
Really?
At no point are we going to market that you play as this other character.
What is this? Oh, that looks good though.
I was so excited about working on it and I couldn't say anything. It was so rough.
Oh, is she gonna cut a baby out?
Holy hell, this is 2 hours?
A comic book that shows Ellie's mom pregnant. So people already had theories that
oh
this was
god, they weren't joking when they said this was 2 hours?
The letters, she has the same number of letters as Anna.
Oh god, I don't have enough time for that.
We'll get people to think this is Ellie's mom.
Oh my god. Girl's got a good... That hammer's from the Outbreak poster.
So
okay, I guess can I even skip any of this? Options. No. Is there a way out of... Oh god, there isn't. Oh god, I'm gonna have to rewatch all of this? Oh god, well that was my mistake. I wasn't even aware of that. God damn it, go. Let me out. Let me out. Oh my god, seriously? Allow us behind it. The duration is 2 hours. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. 2 minutes. Oh my god, and then there's an hour and 2 minutes of the official pod and shit. Duration 50. Holy hell. Shit, I might have to come back to that, but we'll try that again at a different point. God damn, I'm fucking stupid. Never mind. Next time we'll be doing the lost levels here. Here's the 3 here. At least with this shouldn't be too hard to do. This level does not have spoken dialogue, only placeholder and lines and shown up subtitles. This level is presented in an unfinished pre-alpha state, reflecting its state when it originally was cut from the gang. Ellie is swept into Seattle Suitor. Ellie is nearly abandoned, and Ellie follows a trail of blood to an abandoned general store. This level... Really? So yeah, next time we'll be doing that. Thank you for the people joining in, and see you guys tomorrow for some more Last of Us.